Hello, everyone. Welcome to
Hello,
another
Edson.
episode of Profit Talks. I'm here today with Ahmed Kamel. Hello, Ahmed from Egypt,
Hello, hello.
Cairo, Egypt. How are you doing?
All good. How are you?
Good, great to have you with us today. And also Petra Spakova from Slovakia, Bratislava.
Hi, nice to see you guys.
I'm going to tell you a
Nice
little
to
bit
meet you
about
too.
who is Petra and Ahmed. So Petra is my co-host today, and she has a very strong background in marketing. She's an alumni of Hayek Global MBA, and currently she's the segment manager of, let me see if I'm spelling this right, Job Financial Group.
Yeah, almost, but but with an international accent, so it's great.
All right.
Yeah.
And our guest today, star of the show, is Ahmed Kamel, and he's the former real estate sales expert and currently a performance marketer. And he has conducted growth and performance marketing consultation for businesses in Sweden, United States, Dubai, Egypt, and Russia. And in addition, he coached and mentored several sales teams and individuals in Egypt and the United States. He's now creating a full funnel mastermind training for e commerce businesses to help them use paid ads and leverage their funnel stages, optimize, and integrate all elements for maximum outcomes. So please welcome Ahmed Kamel again. Ahmed, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much for the great introduction. Thank you so much.
And now we're just gonna have a quick countdown for get to get everybody warmed up as you come in, and we'll be right back with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? This is a global transmission. Hayek will be live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the show.
And we're back again. So, Ahmed,
Hmm.
tell us, what are you working on right now?
So, currently I'm working on a guide for like all e-commerce businesses and businesses that sell digital products. It's called the 360-degree Funnel Mastermind. Because since I shifted from the real estate to the digital marketing field and specifically the performance marketing, I always saw that there's a problem, which is the funnel. And by this, I wanted to fix this. So I started working on what like problems businesses are having through the funnel stages. And I started tailoring this guide as a like a step-by-step reference for me myself before it comes live. But yeah, like as something I would use me myself to start tailoring and adjusting as per each business needs as a step-by-step guide. And from here, I just got the idea like, okay, why I don't work on this more and we start accelerating this and like ramping this up and having this website to sell it and to teach people and provide this through consultations. So I was having this idea and then I started testing this on multiple businesses, like both in Egypt, in the US as well, and the outcome was truly truly good because it covers several stages of like tailoring the best copy, matching this with landing pages, and even funneling through your copy and creatives as well. And once we started or like adjusting this to each and every business and implementing the steps of this like funnel mastermind guide for a business in Egypt, the return on ad spend jumped from like 6 to 10. Currently it's 15, and this 10 we were reaching was so like rare to have. For other businesses as well, we jumped from 6 to 18 in return on ad spend. So for now it's doing really really good, this like strategy or this kind of like framework or step-by-step guide. And yeah, it's still developing. For the moment there's a website that like people also can check. It's called funnelmastermind.info, where this book will be presented, and we also provide consultations for businesses.
Cool, very interesting.
That
Thank you.
sounds great.
Mm,
Petra, go ahead. Do you have any questions for
mm.
Yeah,
Ahmed?
exactly. Yeah, of course. So,
Sure.
Ahmed, please tell us, have you ever thought about becoming a performance marketer?
To be honest, no. Since I was a kid, I always loved the sales field, and this is why I started first, like my very first steps with the sales field, and it was really, really good. Then this one day came when I was like, okay, I go to the office every day, I don't enjoy it. So is there something we can maybe do about that? And unfortunately, for the real estate niche, you have to be at the office every day to meet people, like greet them, and like have this like presentation and the buying and and the selling process. So I started thinking about that the world's trend in general is going all into tech and into online and like this kind of lifestyle. So why am I still stopping at going like to the offline business, like to day-to-day office and so on? I started reading about marketing. I started like checking some stuff online and hearing also from other experts and people who work in the field, till I know that there's something that's called the performance marketing, which is like for any person who worked in sales, this is very, very precious to have this like sales vibe, the targets. People love numbers when they work in sales, and they love achieving targets. So the most close thing to that was the performance marketing, because you work with e-commerce businesses, you spend money, you have to achieve targets with it, and you have to sell better, you have to optimize on that. So it started as an idea, and I quit my real estate job. I went to live like 12 hours away from my home city. I'm originally from Cairo. So I was living like 12 hours away, 1 year, like one full year by the sea, diving, studying, reading, and so on. And then I took this shift. And then we started implementing the performance marketing strategies and working with businesses and so on. So it was a very, very fruitful experience as well.
Yeah.
I have a question there. What
Sure.
when you say performance marketing, does it apply to any industry? Because I'll just give an example here just to give you some context. So when we think about the sales process of something like clothes, if you're, if
Okay.
you're selling a T-shirt online, it's a simpler sales process than selling a real estate. And
For sure. Because here your main factor is the ticket value of each item. The real estate is a high ticket value item. The t-shirt is a low ticket value item. But the performance marketing in general means that you're simply spending money to increase your performance, your engagement, your conversions, your traffic, and so on. So you can get better traffic, better conversions, and better engagement, better everything by that. So for sure it's different than real estate, and the performance marketing can be applied on anything. For example, regarding Hayek Global College, we can sell you maybe like this MBA, or we can help advertise for people. On the other hand, if you're selling t-shirts as well, this can be an e-commerce business, so yes, we can also work with you. For someone else who sells maybe books, like my current approach, or maybe like courses or any other digital products like applications or anything, yes, it also applies on that.
So, for example, from my perspective, the digital marketing and the aim of that, it's to help to generate better income along with the better conversion rates, with the use of successful strategies, of course, to
Sure.
enhance the business growth of any company or organization. And maybe what I could add is that it really provides us an ability to interact with prospect customers and understand exactly what they need. So basically, according to you, what is the biggest benefit, like of digital marketing itself? What is crucial for you and for your work?
Digital marketing in general is the core thing that supports my work. It's like the base of what we build on. Because if your business is not strong in terms of the organic content and the posts that you post and the website and all of that, so I cannot send you paid traffic to it. And here comes actually one of the very big mistakes that a lot of people fall for, that they think, if I hire this performance marketing, okay, I'll be a millionaire next day. Which, I'm sorry guys, we are not graduated from Hogwarts. We are normal people like you. We don't do any magic. So what we simply do is we improve your performance with some money, but we are not the main performance.
Yeah.
So this is the difference here.
so would you say that obviously the product is what makes the biggest difference?
the
Yes.
product and what the marketing team does, not the performance marketing, but the organic marketing team. For example, people who do like social media management, content creation, the copywriting, and all of that. Because when you guys see any ad over Facebook or any other platform, what is the first thing that happens? You go to check this business profile, you go to check the Instagram page or the Facebook page, and if it's very weak, if it doesn't make sense, would you
Yes.
guys be able to buy from it, or you would disregard the buying decision?
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, probably
Yes.
you check it out, right?
Super,
And
exactly.
probably the more complex the decision it is, the purchase decision, the more you're gonna research about it.
And
So if
here
it's
comes the role of the 360-degree funnel mastermind. We mainly work with businesses who struggle to sell, not who are like very easily selling, even though both can be selling, but you simply improve this because we work on multiple parts of what they go for. For example, organic. We work also on paid. We work on creatives, copy, landing pages, call to actions, and so on.
so what does 360 marketing mean? You do marketing in multiple directions, and is it only in the digital landscape, or does it go outside the digital landscape? What exactly is it?
It's mainly digital because I quit the best job ever working in real estate. I was enjoying so much time there. I quit it to be digital. So I will not go to anything that's not digital for the moment. But yeah, the 360-degree means that it's a full scope. So if you go for this, you don't need anything else. Unless if you want maybe like some consultations, yes, we provide it. But if you love knowledge acquisition, if you like, there's some people who really love knowledge and like the trial and error phase, they love on hands experience of things. This guide is built for them. If you have like a critical problem with your business, you just like book a consultation, and yeah, we take it on spot from there.
Oh, nice. And Ahmed, according to your practice, do you think that so the digital marketing is crucial for any kind of business? I mean, do you see some differences across many business areas, or do you think in on some special, business side, it's even more crucial than in the other?
I believe for all businesses, it's very, very important because people check you digitally before checking you physically. So I believe you also do the same thing before going to any store. You check it digitally. Where is it located? Is the location on Google Maps? Okay, now I know where to go. So do they actually have this product? And then you go text them a message. And you simply walk into the store without walking into the store, but you do it digitally. This is what I mean. So I believe it's very important, even for like doctors, for like even universities, e-commerce, people who sell courses, books, nutrition plans, everything. The current world, like the current technology is very advanced, so it's making everything easy, and no one wants to waste time or money to go to a certain place and then, for example, it's closed like 2 or 3 months ago, or it doesn't work, or they don't have the product you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and if I can say that I'm, let's say, a director of some company, and I want to apply this dedicated strategy to my business. What are the benefits that I might have from that?
You mean like the 360-degree funnel mastermind guide,
Yes,
or?
yes, exactly. I mean, either from that, or you can describe as well the digital marketing strategy itself.
Okay, regarding the 360-degree funnel mastermind, you'll be benefiting on multiple aspects. Number one is advancing your creatives to an expert level. And if you guys check the news feed of Facebook, sometimes you stop your scrolling and sometimes not. So why you stop scrolling? Because something catchy has been crossing your eyes or has been grabbing your attention. So when you see this like creatives as we call it, or this like picture or video or whatever, you stop the scroll and then you start reading to know more. And here comes the second part that we also target, the copywriting part. We help you write way better than before, because I was reaching this extent, which is I can get, for example, two businesses. Okay, this is the ad of business one, this is the ad of business two, and if we only Photoshop this logo of business one and this logo of business two, and then we like cross them, you would not know who is who because their offers are so similar.
Mhm.
So by working on your copy, you stand out from the competition, you appear more to people, so they saw your creative, they like you, they saw your copy, it's very engaging. Yeah, they like it, and then they click on your ad, so they go to the landing page. Sometimes the landing page of the businesses are a bit misleading, which is, for example, we're talking about a certain offer, you click the ad, you go to the landing page or the website, you don't find it. So people start losing trust. And here comes another aspect. We tailor each part of the funnel according to, like, for example, we work on your like cold stage, or like we call it the prospecting stage, in terms of copy, creatives, and landing pages. And same thing for warm and hot stages as well. So we make sure that your 360-degree scope is very tailored to this business and to its audience. Going back to the second part of the question, marketing in general, yes, for sure, marketing in general is very, very important. And it's again, like as I just mentioned, it's the core of what we do, because you have to check if these guys are real or no, if they are like legit or no. So if it makes sense, you will proceed as well. And some people, they see the ad, they're interested, but they don't trust you yet. So they
Yeah.
go to check your like business page. It makes sense, perfect. They complete the purchase.
Yes, exactly. So when I can sum it up, like I would say, digital marketing allows you to reach out a wide audience kind of quickly. So
Exactly.
the biggest benefit is like a reach.
Mhm.
Then we can define the exact audience. And I would say, from my perspective, and as you are saying, it's really time effective because you can target directly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as you mentioned, it can help to increase brand awareness.
Mhm.
And more, and on top there is as well, I would say it's budget friendly, because imagine, as a small business owner, you likely need to be very particular with how you spend your marketing budget. So basically, there you can adapt, according to your like according to what do you have as a budget you want to invest, or according to other inputs. So yeah, I would say like it's necessary. What do you think, Edson? It's crucial
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah. I think it's very interesting. One thing I was thinking about here, a curious question that I had for Ahmed,
Mhm.
is that from the experiences that I had hiring agencies in the past, and my experience is all on the higher education industry,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, makes sense.
previously I worked in a company which was much bigger than what Hayek is. So the Hayek is a startup, and we actually hired agencies to do the marketing job in addition to having a marketing team. So we had like a marketing team of around 10 people, and then plus the agency. And my experience with hiring agencies was always that kind of frustrating in a certain way, where agencies would always promise that they would deliver things, and
I hear
it
this a lot. Yeah.
it was often like whenever we're going through the prospecting of the agencies, they come up with this fantastic presentation, and like,
Mhm.
wow, yeah, this is very good, I think this agency is great. And then probably like the first time you do it, it's good, okay, the first campaign. And then you keep on going on with the campaigns, and now they don't start delivering on time, and then things start trailing down. Um, and it just got me thinking, oh, what is your opinion on what is the role of, and this is probably in a bigger company setting, what is the role of the marketing team, and what is the role of the agencies whenever we hire these types of services?
You mean like if you have like in-house marketing?
If we have if you have like a team of marketing, you have like a marketing manager, and you want to
Mhm.
do like performance marketing,
Mhm.
and let's say I'm hiring your company as an
Okay. Mhm.
agency.
Mhm.
And think here of a bigger company, right?
Okay.
um what what is the role of the marketing team? What does the marketing team need to bring to the table in order for this to work?
So if you have a marketing team, we work hand in hand to make sure we deliver this. The only difference between having in-house or like an agency is that the agency has a lot of like products and projects to work on, which sometimes causes this for sure. And in my opinion, they have to know what limit they can go for. For example, their like maximum capability is to go for, let's say, like 4 5 clients. if they take 6 clients, their performance will drop with their clients, and they will start losing clients. So this is something very, very important people have to consider when they work with, like, not you working with an agency, but an agency working with you. They have to know what is their limit. uh, Going back to this part of the question, I would say your marketing team has to give us a lot of things. Make sure briefing of the business is like 100% clear. Make sure the creatives, for example, if we have edits on it, or like the copy or landing pages, they can fast implement, because at the end of the day, you are a business, so we want to scale you as fast as possible. We want to reach your max out level as fast as possible, and this cannot happen if we're dealing slow, because time is money at the end of the day. So we're trying here to push with you, but maybe your team is not cooperative enough. Um, One more thing also is to be on the same ground. My team can be working in a direction, your team can be working in another direction, and then we deliver two different things, which is not also the main target or the main goal. So we need to make sure that both parties are creating the same thing, working on the same thing, they have the same knowledge. And there's also something which is called the curse of knowledge, which people need to avoid, which is they assume that both parties know this. So for example, I can be talking to your team, I have some extra knowledge in some major or in some part, and I'll be having this cognitive bias, which is, yeah, for sure the guys know it, they work in marketing, but maybe if not. So I have to make sure like delivering 100% clear info, and it's very like clear, it's very good to go. And there's one very small test I do usually, which is I let the other person recap. So for example, okay, did you guys get what I'm saying? Okay, can you please take me through the steps again? So if they miss out something, you still solve it now instead of solving it after the time has passed and it costed you money.
Yeah, very good insights.
I really
Thank you.
love this idea.
And again, having in mind that you're not from Hogwarts.
Yeah, again, that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ahmed, can you can you please tell us more? Like, like as I know, there are thousands of ratios we could look at while evaluating some campaigns.
Sure.
And maybe what are your like the most preferable or the most important ratios that you are using throughout your work in performance marketing? So tell us, please, your insights.
Sure. First of all, it depends on the campaign itself. So now you like what kind of campaign are you creating and what goals are you trying to reach? And people always like when they come to us, going back to Edson's example, which is okay, like for example, your agency or your business hired me and we want to work together. So or like they have some expectation in mind. We do not work with your expectation in mind. I'm sorry. We worked with real data, real analytics, because at the end of the day, your market, your budget, your performance in terms of a business, all these factors somehow have like a certain conversion rate. Maybe they have some maybe like revenues, profits, and so on. So for some business owners, they have this expectation that by working with you they can double their like profits or triple. But if you go, for example, where like check their landing pages, there's a lot of things you need to work on. So the basic thing is to know their current metrics, what they actually achieve without you, so we know, or we have some KPIs, maybe like 15 to 25% of increase or improvement every month. And this is also inspired by budget. So like if we disregard now the campaign objective or the main like ad objective or like this part, so how much you used to spend, and when you got to us and our team, how much are you actually spending now, or how much are you willing to spend? So maybe you got us but you will spend less, so we cannot exceed your expectations. I'm sorry, we cannot go for that part.
Good.
Does it make sense?
Yes, exactly.
It depends on the
Perfect.
context. I have a comment here from this is our student Juan, I know from his YouTube.
Hmm.
And he also has a question here. Let me put it on the screen so
Sure.
you can take a look. Does the way US marketers engage and define generations, millennials, Z, etc., apply in your context? And how the different generations in your part of how do you address different generations in your part of the world? I guess he's touching on the point that we're coming from three different places and how we address the generations. I guess I don't know what would you think. The context of Egypt, and it's a good question for you, Ahmed, because you have
Yeah,
done experiences in other parts of the world too, in addition to Egypt. So how would you think of this different cultural contexts and the idea of the generations? Maybe the generator, like I know my kids don't watch TV, the normal TV.
yeah, yeah.
My 7 and my 5-year-olds. If you're talking about someone that's in their early 20s, probably they watch more YouTube, but they still watch a little bit of TV. But there's a lot of difference in the generations there. But what are your thoughts on this?
I would say for sure there's so much differences. Number one, the consumer behavior. People in developed countries, they are so easy to like just go buy something online, check out, pay, and that's it. People in not so developed countries, they always have this mistrust, or they cannot give you their 100% trust. So in the non-developed countries, we work a lot with like social proofs, testimonials, and at some point you can just create a campaign. Like when you go to the page reviews, you like screenshot some reviews from there, and then you simply create a campaign with this. This is the creative. This is the picture you're getting people to see. This is something. Something else regarding the generation we're talking to. For sure, it's a huge difference in terms of copy and creatives because at the end of the day, you have to speak to the end consumer in mind. Who are you selling? You have to know who is your best person to buy this. So, for example, if we're speaking about maybe like some fashion clothes, so yeah, for sure everyone buys this because this is listed on Maslow's pyramid of like hierarchy needs. If we speak maybe about like some Rolex watches and like some luxury stuff, it's on top. So for sure, your copy will differ, uh, as long as your product or service placement differs on this pyramid of needs. So for sure, the copy will differ, and then we will go to check who is the target audience, and we will tailor the copy, the creatives, and the landing page according to that. For some countries, for example, they have very famous payment methods. Other countries, they have other payment methods. So here comes also a very important part. Imagine if you create a campaign, let's say in a country where Apple Pay doesn't work, and you're having this as the main payment method. So everything is good. The campaign is amazing, but guys will not pay. The guys will not convert there. But on the other hand, you have to very much study your audience. You have to know what they do in their daily life. There's something I also work with. It's called the off niche the off niche targeting strategy, which is now, for example, we are trying to sell people, let's say, t-shirts. Okay, so what would you guys be doing if you're targeting people who would buy a fashion product? What keywords would you use? Fashion, menswear, outerwear, Zara, H&M, and other brands, right? And not just you are using this, but also your competitors. So here the competition is super high. So to compete in a market of vacuum, what I do is I simply go target the same market, but from other keywords. So, for example, there was this very, very good campaign for one of my clients. She like they were doing these like jeans denim jackets with like some patterns and some like shiny glittery stuff. So I felt at some point that this can be used, or if I was a lady, I would wear this in maybe like a club or in a party or something like that. And I created a campaign with these like keywords or these interests, which is like techno parties, nightclubs, and so on. And our return on ad spend jumped from 6 up to 18 and 20. It's the same product, the same everything, but how you approach the market was completely different. When we added the fashion related keywords, we were having this very high competition. But when we went to the other keywords, we were having a market of vacuum. So we were the only person there, or we were the only business there advertising. So for you to target people in the US or in other countries, you have to dig so much into their consumer behavior to know what and how their daily life is. So I can maybe work on that and I can push on that and I can go max out my profits on that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, Ahmed, as you are saying, and maybe I would be even more like, I would like to know more that do you cooperate as well with the segment management? Because, as you are saying, it's really important to know the persona, who is sitting in front of the computer on the other side, and you have to know what are his or her needs, and maybe you can use some of the dynamic segmentation that are taking into account the stage where is this persona, in a life. So basically, do you cooperate as well with these kind of people?
Yes, for sure, because at the end of the day, they have something to sell. And from e-commerce to digital products or like whatever you're trying to sell, for sure there's something we can 100% fix. And it's not just about this. It might be about your copy, creatives, not just the funnel and the sales part. Maybe your sales is perfect, but the copywriting can be adjusted, or the creatives. Yeah, you know what? You can do this, and that.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe I would be even more like curious what you could tell us. Which kind of channel do you recommend to use? For example, like as we know, we have skin formats, teeth formats. Like, or what do you think is the most catchy for the final client?
You mean in terms of the social platforms?
Yes. For example.
It still depends. There's a huge debate on that, and for me, I don't like to go into these debates, which is okay, this is working here and this is not. Let's go
Yeah.
to data. Data is king. So if we go to data check, for example, you're trying to sell this product or service to the US market. We check the US, okay, TikTok is booming there, Instagram is also booming there, Facebook and Snapchat are so. So we would use this. If, for example, you go to the Gulf region, Snapchat is number one there, and like other platforms are coming after Snapchat, so we would use this as the most priority. So it still depends on the market, and this can also be a great addition to the previous question.
Yes, exactly. So the multicultural, base is really important, as you said, and we
Yeah,
have to look on
completely.
the exact place where we want to target the audience.
Completely. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you cannot sell someone you don't know. So you have to know people, you have to study them. There's something I always say actually, that the prospect or the person you sell is like going on a date, okay? Can you go on a date with someone you don't know? At least you saw them once or twice somewhere, and then maybe they introduce themselves to you, like for example, hey Edson, hey Petra, I'm like blah blah blah, and I'm coming here every now and then. I see you a lot. Would you be interested to hang out? So this is exactly like the relationship we have with each and every customer. It's always very much like dating, like having a relationship, even a friendship. You cannot go talk to a very random person in the street unless there is an urgency, right?
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's exactly the same.
Yes, it's about the creation of trust, and the
Mhm.
loyalty, so the customer can come back and buy the product once again.
Yeah, this is
And
an important point.
the people who also teach marketing, they always say that people have to see you multiple times before they buy your product. It's exactly like in real life. You cannot go talk to a random person in the street unless maybe you work in some place and you see them day after a day after a day. Then the fourth day they will be saying hi. So you'll be, hi, how are you? I'm good. And then the conversation starts.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's easy to neglect this type of thing in the digital world because
Hmm.
we're so used to thinking about it in algorithms and automations, and we kind of forget about the, even though sometimes you don't even have a human speaking to the person, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of contacts, digital contact points, which is also uh, akin to having a relationship, as you were mentioning.
The thing is also, because we're so digital, people sometimes feel like, okay, this is not real. Okay, I want a real person to talk to. And this is justified by the behavior in some countries that are not so developed, that when they tend to do a purchase decision, they need a person like them. So they go text the business, hey, I want this t-shirt size medium. Is it available? It's available on the website and they see it, but they go to text to make sure that there's someone replying on them. Maybe this person would send them a voice note. This would calm them down and help them take this purchase decision more. And this is why also in some ads, a lot of experts suggested, which is, don't do a Hollywood production ad. Like, your audience don't need this. Let's do something very normal. Like for example, Petra can be like taking a story on Instagram and publishing this. People want something very normal, very basic. This sometimes, if not always, converts way better than the very Hollywood production
Yeah.
kind of creatives.
Something very human, like from the real
Yeah,
life.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
perfect. It's
yeah,
totally not perfect. There's some noise in the background. Your dog is barking, and you're still taking this like
yeah,
video, doing a nice review, and it works perfect.
yes, exactly. I fully agree.
Because there's a few that's more authentic.
Yeah, yeah. We always have to work on
Yes,
authentic
that's
social
the,
proof.
that's the right word for that.
Disregarding the dog barking sound for sure, because people need to hear you. But yeah, at the end of the day, we still need this authentic social proof.
Yes, exactly. Okay, Ahmed, and I would as well like to ask about the purchase funnel concept.
Mhm.
So,
Sure.
basically, just to tell our listeners, the purchase funnel concept is used in marketing to guide promotional campaigns, targeting different stages of the customer journey, and as a basis for customer relationship management and lead management campaigns. So, it has really like many structures and many steps that are that are making the whole process, such as awareness, opinion, consideration, preference, and at the end, when we are successful, there is a purchase at the end. So it's our final positive outcome. So,
Exactly.
what is the most important part of the sales funnel according to you? Are you looking on that as a concept, or maybe tell us some preferences on each of the stages? So tell us, please.
You mean the most important stage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The most important stage I would say is the top of funnel, because it's like planting every day. If you plant today, you will eat tomorrow. And if you plant tomorrow, you will eat after tomorrow, and so on. The cycle goes on. So you always have to feed your top of funnel with like new prospects and so on. Because if you don't have new prospects, who will you convert, or like who will you send to the warm stage, and who will you send to the hot stage after? Some people and businesses, I mean, they always concentrate so much on the hot funnel, and they because yeah, it's the easiest to convert. I need money right now, so they push all their like all their spend, all their like budgets to the hot funnel. And here comes the big problem. After some point, if you see their metrics, you would see like a very nice curve going up, and then it goes down because yeah, they ran out of prospects. So you always have to nurture this top of funnel.
Mhm. Okay, cool. So, for example, from my perspective, what I'm thinking about when I want to make an awareness, and if I want to be really successful, we can use as well some kind of data analysis, and for example, we can incorporate as well econometry or
For
other
sure.
propensity models. So, as well, according to your view, it's really beneficial, right?
Yes, for sure. And one more thing to add on that, one of the mentors I was learning from, they said, don't post selfish content. Why? Because no one cares. And by selfish content, we mean the thing that you want to post, the thing, or like the post or the content that you think will work with your audience. At the end of the day, who pays them? Who generates the profit for the business? You or the audience? Your clients pay, right? So you always have to go back to data, know what this people want, how to improve the product, and so on. And the product improvement, there's like so many things they can also use. And this is not depending on us, but this is depending on data coming again from our prospects and our clients.
So let's expand on that point. I think that's important. What exactly do you mean by selfish content? Is that let me try to think of an example. Buy my product right now. This is the best opportunity for you. You should buy this. The type of thing you mean by selfish?
And nope. By selfish content, I mean, okay, you know when you guys open your like phone gallery or like photo album, and yeah, you see a nice picture, you want to post this on Instagram.
Hmm.
So, on which person's opinion are you basing this decision? On yours, right? So you, for example, you as Edson or Petra, you think that this picture is good. I want to post it on Instagram, or I can write this nice quote on Facebook,
I see.
and you write it accordingly. On the other hand of the business, this is not how it operates. With the businesses, they always want what they want, not what you want. You might think that this like kind of creatives or videos or content people want, but they actually don't want this. They want something else. They want maybe more education, and you think they want more pictures for the product, but they want to know how to use it. And here comes also one of the gaps that is in the funnel mastermind guide, that what you want is here, what they want is here, and they fall in between, which what we don't want.
So what you mean is that my perception of the what content is going to talk with my customers is different from what the customers think it is, and sometimes I'm biased in thinking that the content that I think it's great is the one that they want.
Yes, exactly. Because for you, your business is like your baby. For you, it's the best thing in the world. It's the most profitable. It's the best. It's the strongest. And for them, okay, what will I benefit from this? Is it worth paying this money? So here comes here comes this gap. So you need to answer their concerns, solve their problems, not speak so much about you and your product. Because when you also do this, you'll be so much pushing with your product, like buy my product, not directly, but I mean you'll be, or like your speech, copy, and creatives will be very product biased, and they don't care about the product. They care about the benefits at the end of the day. So they want to know how this would benefit them, how will this impact their life,
Mhm.
how this will make their life easier, let them gain money, eliminate maybe some physical pain, mental pain, save time, save money, and so on.
Yeah, it reminded me of a story that we this is something I always struggled with in the previous business that I was working at, is that there's a common complaint that there were no outdoors, those billboards outdoors of advertising on the way to the university. And the problem is that the directors were always traveling in that direction and going and they were always complaining, look, there's no outdoor there. I haven't seen it. We are not advertising well. It's like, well, our customers are not there. They're all digitally looking at us. So there was all these types of discussions. And
Yeah,
my argument was like, you're looking at what you're looking at, not necessarily where your customers are looking at, right? It's exactly your point.
exactly.
And guys, let's have a look on the other side, let's have a look when we are at the end of the funnel and there was no success, like the customer is leaving, and we are trying and pushing, for another client and another client. I think then comes a word that is known as lead management, and I think it's crucial, because you want to take the customer back and maybe have a look on the once again on the product. So do you consider, Ahmed, lead management, as a key backbone of successful sales? If yes, tell us why. Maybe if not, tell us your opinion. And if you see, like some perspective on this particular process, if I can say it like that.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, please. What will happen if you have a business and then you're advertising so much on Facebook, on Google, and it's doing perfect? What happens if one day Google and Facebook and all these platforms shut down, or like have like some sort of a technical problem, like what happened in October 2021 when Facebook was down? What will you do by that time?
Yeah. Then
You'll be thinking about the crisis you're in, right?
yeah, and
And
trying to find the new ways, right, and new channels
exactly.
where to go.
And this time you will think, oh, I wish I got the data, or like the information, the contacts of the customers we have. And here comes the role of lead management and leads in general, to have them in your database. Because we don't just work with marketing in terms of like social media and like Google and so on. We also work with like email marketing and other platforms. When Facebook was down in October 2021, like almost 1 year ago, So I was actually attending this conference about business and tech and so on, and then I I wanted to like check Facebook. I was bored. I was tired. It was the end of the day, so I'm checking Facebook, and there was no like no benefit. It wasn't like responding at all. So by that time, I was working in an agency in Miami, Florida, and I called the owner of the agency. It was an e-com agency for like fashion and apparel, like health apparel. So I called him and I was like, man, right now I see that Facebook WhatsApp is down. Let's create an email campaign right now, because all the people were waiting for their phone to buzz again. Like if you want to text like your beloved people, your family, and so on, so you're waiting for this ping or like this buzz sound that comes. So if we send an email right now, I'm sure we will be getting conversions. And the owner of the business, on the other hand, and her creative team, they didn't want to cooperate. They were like, it's too late, and so on. I was like, guys, I'm telling you, if we do it right now, we will have a great outcome. So what we did was we created an email campaign as follows. Hello, we know that you're currently bored and you miss and you miss your beloved people. And this is why, instead of just sitting and waiting for that, why don't you check our website? We offer 15% off the whole website. And then I don't want to tell you how the open rates were, but we got the monthly target. We got 15% of the monthly target in 1 hour.
Amazing.
Wow.
And this was super. This was one of the most brilliant ideas I got. I don't know how I got it. I was super tired that day, but this is showing you how strong leads are.
Yeah.
You can reach people in a blink of an eye. There's a problem with all the other platforms we're not selling. Our curve will drop. Just this, we were so revamped. We were so high with like sales 15% in 1 hour. It was super.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
this is exactly what I wanted to point out, because I think nowadays it's crucial for any kind of business to have this link management, covered and
Yeah,
maybe incorporated into the strategy as part of the digital market strategy the company has. So,
exactly.
yeah, that's a great insight. Thank you.
And
And
it also talks about the importance of being fast, having an agile team
yeah,
that can adapt and do things
Because
straight away.
yes, we have to be very fast. We are not the only person who might target you in this time. There's a lot of very smart, creative directors and marketeers and advertisers all over the world. And imagine what can happen if we're not the first. We would be lost. So to stand out, we have to be very fast. We have to implement, especially with this age. Everything is super
yeah.
fast.
So guys, time is money, right?
At the
Exactly.
end of the day,
Another way to
always.
put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ahmed, please tell us, because I see that you are very passionate about this topic, and moreover, I do see a connection with the fashion, and I'm a big lover of fashion, and as well, I was working for a couple of companies that were, in the fashion business. Maybe we can create another podcast next time and discuss this particular topic, because I think it's a very
Sure.
I would say catchy and attractive for many kind of listeners. So I hope we can come up with the new ideas, and maybe tell us, please, during your life journey, or maybe business journey, you can choose whatever you want. What's your biggest inspiration, and are you influenced by somebody who is world now or by any other business enthusiast? Tell us.
Um, okay. In terms of marketing or in general?
Oh, you can decide, but mainly through your work, or maybe you have some life motto you are following. So basically, tell us your opinions and emotions.
Okay. I have two very important mottos I follow. One of them, I believe, is for Michael Phillips. I truly like I don't remember, but he said, "It's what you do in the shadow that brings you into the light." And this is always about like sales and numbers and the current age we're living. It's always very high paced. Today you're hearing like a new technology came, then like some days after or like months another technology came. Before that, technology was like renewed or like updated of a span of like 10 years. Now we have a very faster span. This is one motto. The second would be the sky is never the limit, the sky is the playground.
What
I
does that
think
mean?
I will do remember these quotations for the rest of my life.
What do I mean?
The
People
sky is
always
not the
say,
limit; it's the playground. What
yeah,
does
people
that mean?
always say, okay, man, let's do this. Let's have this business idea. It's amazing. Sky's the limit. But in my opinion, sky is never the limit. You can always go way, way beyond that. Because, like, every business started as an idea, okay? No one knew that they would be super successful with what they do or the ideas they had. For example, the top notch strategy I just mentioned, the off niche strategy, came because I was super depressed. So I was generating like 6 times what we spent for the business, and then I woke up one day. I was like so depressed. We're not doing enough. Okay, the break even return on ad spend was around 4. So I'm just like getting them like 2 extra like multiplies of what they spend, and I wasn't happy about that. So instead of just focusing on the fashion related keywords, I was like, okay, let's create a campaign for people who like techno parties, nightclubs, and parties in general, and so on. And the other campaign I created, it was for like paddle tennis and dogs. And both campaigns outperformed their existing campaigns. This can also be implied on so many things. A lot of people I see in this age, they stop trying because, yes, in this age, it's very easy to get money, but it's not easy to keep up the money flow.
Yeah,
So the sky is never the limit. The sky is the playground with like the ideas that you can always implement. It's always so good to execute trial and error phases, like rise and fall, as we say. And at the end of the day, the sky is never the limit. The sky is the playground. You can always build on what top performance did and even have a way better performance than that.
Amazing.
exactly.
Ahmed, let me ask a last question here.
Sure.
So, if someone is watching us and he's finishing his college degree or maybe doing his MBA and or considering an MBA and trying to figure out, but is in the career transition and he's considering a career in marketing
Hmm.
and wants to become a performance marketing like you and do work like you do, or maybe even work in your team.
My pleasure.
What what are the characteristics or even the abilities that this person has to develop?
Um, I would say the most important thing is like to not be afraid of failures, because in especially in the performance marketing, we try a lot of things. The testing phase that we test for every business to know what works and what doesn't, it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of creativity. It takes a lot of digging into the people's personas. It takes a lot of testing and trying and failing and succeeding, and then getting your top performing ads, and then trying to optimize on them, even increase their performance more and more, and then like it fails, so you start like again and again. So they have to be people who are not afraid to try, and they also have to be think like in my opinion, but maybe I'm a bit biased because my main experience was sales. So the sales experience is very, very important. I would say not just for performance marketing, for a lot of things. It teaches you a lot about the psychology, how to approach people, how to close, how to handle objections, and so on. So the sales experience is very important. It would teach you how the brain works to sell.
Mm.
And if you're working with performance marketing, you're selling online. So I'm the person behind the screen. You are the person in front of the screen, the other side. What else? They have to be patient because testing takes time again, and testing is the main core of the business. What else I would say? And yeah, they always have to be very knowledgeable. They have to read, they have to test multiple things, try new strategies, come up with new strategies, and most importantly, which is ahead of all of this, know what are the pains of the business they are working with. So
Great.
if I would advise starters, I would say get a sheet or like a paper, create an Excel sheet or whatever, have a column for all the problems you see this business is having, and start crafting solutions for each and every part of that.
And just a follow up question there, because I was
Sure.
curious. You have also experience selling to different countries, and we're
Mhm.
talking about someone that wants to develop and do work like you. How important is it to also be aware of uh, other cultures, or
Mhm.
having been in touch and connect with other cultures when you're doing marketing in different countries? Like, what is your take on that?
It's very important because it connects you more. It totally connects you more. Before we started the podcast, I was greeting Andre and I was greeting you. Oi, como você vai? Prazer em conhecê-lo. I was speaking like a little bit of like Portuguese sentences. So he felt like maybe he can trust me more, or you did. And this is not just something that we can do here, but you can do it in multiple ways in sales or performance marketing. In performance marketing, you can transfer this to the copy you write because you don't directly speak to people like we are now. Or if I'm selling you something over the phone, I don't directly speak to you. So you showcase this in your copy, in your creatives, in your user generated content. That, for example, if you're a shoe brand and you eliminate back pain, so in the videos you use to market your brand, you have to show people that you actually solve the back pain. This person was having back pain, or he wasn't enjoying the long shopping walks with his wife, and after buying your shoe, now he enjoys it. You have to highlight this so you connect to them more. On the other side of things, if you talk to a person like over the phone, or like now we are doing, you have to always have a common ground. Maybe like study them if you can. Maybe you can go for something like asking some questions to understand them. So, hey man, how are you doing? So yeah, you applied for this sales call. I see you're interested about our product. But yeah, I would actually love to know how many kids you have. So if he said, for example, two kids, like you, Edson, I can also say, yeah, you know what? I actually have two kids as well. Yeah, I have, for example, like Maria and Carlos, and yeah, they're like 9 and 5, and so on. This makes you feel like, yeah, this person is like me as well. We're somehow the same. We have the same bond, and this can go on so many ways. Like they love a certain like football team, certain food. They visited Brazil before, or like Slovakia, or like whatever country you guys are from. So it can go on multiple levels, but you have to connect with people. You have to break the ice.
Yeah,
And by doing this, you shorten the process way much.
so next time, Ahmed, like the invitation in Slovak.
My pleasure, for sure. I just know a very little bit of Portuguese, so I just used it.
We'll do it in Slovak next time. Well,
Yeah,
thank you very much, Ahmed and Petra, for being with us today. It was an honor to speak to you. And I hope everyone that watched us today enjoyed this episode. And we'll see you all
hopefully.
next time.
Thank you so much. Have a great one, everyone. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, guys.
Thank
Ciao.
you. Ciao, ciao.